Greetings Midcoast Ukes, Jeff Weinberger coming at you here with a new tutorial. Today I'd like to do a review tutorial. This is something that we've talked about in the past, but I'd like to go back over it, make sure everybody's real solid with it. And it's actually a multi-subject video, but the main category that I would put these strums under would be the boom chick strum. And that's what we've been calling it when you hit the top strings of your ukulele, either with your index finger or your thumb. Then you hit the bottom strings of your ukulele with either digit. You can use both. You can use your thumb for the top and your index for the bottom if you can get that down. We'll talk about that in a minute. But these are just variations of the boom chick strum, and I think each and every one of you should get familiar with this. Some of you have been doing it for years, and it's not a problem. It's not new to you. This is just review, but you want to solidify your skills and get them together. Make sure that you can do this really well with a steady tempo and for a long time. Get some duration going there. And then for those of you that might be a little uncomfortable with what you might think of as fancy strumming, where you're separating the strings and doing more than just a simple down strum, this might be brand new to you. So we'll go slow. We'll talk about this. It hopefully will benefit everybody in the group. But basically the boom chick, you probably know by now, is what I call this sound, which I was doing on the chords to I'll Fly Away just a minute ago, just to demonstrate it. But we do lots of songs, just alone in our 30 song set list that we've been jamming on every month. There are 11 songs that use this strum or potentially could use this strum. So obviously it's a must-have strum. I just did a workshop, a right-hand workshop for Bay Chamber Music School. And we spent a good long time on this, and it seemed to be something most people need or are interested in. So I just want to recap this for Midcoast Ukes. So what we're looking at with the very simple index finger strum is hitting those top strings and then hitting those bottom strings. See how those are two slightly different sounds? Might be a little subtle. It might be a little hard to hear the difference between those two, but there is indeed a difference, and it really makes the music have a little more variety to it and a little more variation when you do that, as opposed to having it be monotonous and be the exact same sound every time. This way you get two different sounds, this sound and that sound, lower pitches and higher pitches, which is why I say boom chick, that's just the way it sounds to me. And I'm sure I'm not the first person to call it that. I bet you there's some country guitar players that have called that the boom chick strum. So why do you need to know the boom chick strum besides the fact that I'm talking about it and that I just said it was used in I'll Fly Away? Well, let's check it out. Let's look at our set list for a second. I see a whole bunch of songs I've written down here, one of which is Jambalaya. Goodbye, Joe. You gotta go. Me, oh my, oh. Perfect for that, whether you do it in C or our new key of G. Goodbye, Joe, you gotta go, me oh my oh. It's the same idea, regardless of key. Jambalaya being one of the Hank Williams songs that would use that strum. Hey Good Lookin' would use the same thing. Hey good looking, what you got cooking? Etc. Your Cheatin' Heart, the newest Hank Williams song that we've taken on, that uses that strum. And then we have Will the Circle Be Unbroken? We have I'll Fly Away. We have Buckets of Rain. We have This Land Is Your Land. We have Jolene, King of the Road. Trailer for sale, rent, rooms to let 50 cents, which is kind of from Roger Miller, a country guy, so that makes sense that in a song written by a Nashville country guy, there would be a boom chick kind of feel to it. That was just part of the genre, but it goes way beyond country music, of course. So then you have This Train. That's a folk song. This train was bound for glory. This train, boom chick, perfect strum. We jammed on that song last summer out at our outdoor jams. Had a lot of fun with that song. We'll probably revise that again this summer. And then You Ain't Going Nowhere. So there's two Dylan songs right there. buckets of rain and you ain't going nowhere that use that strum. So obviously it's not just for country, it's for Bob Dylan songs, it's for Johnny Cash songs, it's for Dolly Parton songs, it's for a lot of different things, rock and roll, folk, gospel, spiritual tunes. It's just one of those very essential strums. And so in its simplest form, yeah, you can just do top strings, bottom strings, but then a slightly more lively version and more technically challenging that would take a little more practice is to do the top strings on a down, do the bottom strings on a down, but then come back with your index finger on and up. You can hit the bottom strings or all of the strings. It almost doesn't matter at that point, but it would sound like this. I've described that in other videos as do-wacka-do, wacka-do. That's what it sounds like. And there's another strum that I actually call the Hank strum. That is a Hank Williams derived strum where you're doing the top strings, but you're doing the top strings on a down up, and you're doing the bottom strings on a down up. Down up on the top strings, down up on the bottom strings. So that's a good variation of it. Let's practice that together a little bit, nice and slow, on G to C. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So once you get it going, it's not too terribly hard, but you probably want to do it slow and take your time and really be careful with it. And then after a while, you'll be able to be more free and go faster and not worry too much. Okay, so that is the Hank strum. And then finally, we have something that I give the funny name of pluck, flick, flick. And that's where you do hit the top strings, but or just the top string. You can do just the G string or the G and C strings with your thumb. That's the pluck part. Then you flick your index finger, you curl it up and you extend it like that and go flicking across those bottom strings. Then you flick back up. So it's just a slightly different sound from it's kind of a little sharper because when you hit that G string with your thumb, you're sort of brushing it. And that gives it an extra bit of percussion. So they have a slightly different sound. That might be a little subtle. You might not hear that. It might not come through over the internet here. But hopefully, if you listen really close, you can hear the difference. The difference between that and that. They're all good. I mean, any one of these would be appropriate. And I kind of use them interchangeably. Through the course of a song, I might use all of those. They're so compatible with each other. So don't be afraid to do that. Don't be afraid to mix up your strums. You don't have to do one strum for the whole song. If you're a beginner and that's all you're comfortable with, great. Do that one strum and do it with, all the feeling you can put into it. But if you feel more comfortable going beyond that, you want to mix them up. You want to amuse yourself and have a little variation going on instead of just this monotonous thing. So there, let's recap. You've got just basic boom chick. You've got boom chicka. You've got the Hank strum. You got pluck, flick, flick. And then you can mess around with those and make even more variations of each of those. Those are the basic forms of those strums. And then from there you can derive lots of other strums. One last word about these is they're supposed to swing. There are songs that use them that don't swing, but they're pretty rare. Like Walk Right In. Walk Right In has a kind of a 60s rock feel to it. Boom ching boom boom dun dun da 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 boom ching. So that's a straight feel. That doesn't have swing eighth notes. That has 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Not 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And it's not a swing kind of feel. But other than that, that's the only song I can think of, although I'd have to look at our list. Maybe there's a couple others, but that's a definite song that would use the boom chick strum without a swing feel. But all the songs we just talked about, I'll list them again so you can practice them and try to work on these strums with these songs. Jambalaya, obviously. Hey Good Lookin'. Your Cheatin' Heart. Will the Circle Be Unbroken? Buckets of Rain. This Land Is Your Land. I'll Fly Away. Jolene. King of the Road. This Train, and You Ain't Going Nowhere. All of those 11 songs out of 30 from our jam list use the boom chick strum. So it's super important to get familiar with it. Let's go out on the boom chick strum and any variations you want to throw in. I'll try to throw in a few myself here. And this time let's change it up. Let's do G, A minor, C, and G, just like You Ain't Going Nowhere. So G, A minor, C, G. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, Midcoast Ukers, you take care, and I will catch you later. Bye-bye.